Hey everyone, TAC1421 here. Welcome back for another episode of my Pokemon FireRed Let's Play. In the previous episode, we got a ton done. We got an Eevee and a Growlithe, a new added Pokemon to our team, which is really going to help things out, of course, because it's always good to get more Pokemon for our team. And also, we got a bunch of TMs. We got some Firestones, and we got the HM Fly, which is going to really help out later in the game when we can use Fly outside of battle. But before we start this episode off, I do want to do a few things, and that includes evolving both of our Pokemon. I looked at the movesets that each of them learn, and it's really not going to make that a ton of difference whether we evolve them now or later. So I decided, might as well evolve them now. So I use a Firestone on Growlithe, and let's see what happens. And there we go, Growlithe evolved into Arcanine. Definitely a fantastic Pokemon. One of the best special attackers, so definitely great Pokemon to have. And now we're going to evolve our Eevee and see what happens when we give it a Firestone. And there we go, Eevee evolved into Flareon. Not as good as the other two Pokemon, but definitely great for our team. I am going to go ahead and teach Flareon Dig right now, because I definitely need to have another move besides Quick Attack. So let's go ahead and use Dig on our Flareon. So Flareon already has 4 moves, so I need to replace it with something. And I think I'm going to replace it with Growl. Don't need Growl, so I never use those moves. I don't know, other people use them, but I really stay away from them. I kind of think they're pointless, but yeah. Nonetheless, Flareon learned Dig, which definitely helps things out, of course. So there we go. Alright, so now that we're done with that, we're basically going to do a lot of training in this episode. It's going to be a lot of grinding for just, battling a lot of trainers that I may have passed in the previous episode or previous, 2 episodes or so. But I'm going to try to go back and battle a lot of them now. But a level 15 Arcanine, that's kind of funny. But we're going to Ember, see how much it does. Yeah, it doesn't do that much at all. We are such a low level, it's pretty crazy. I'm going to switch into my Charizard here, and it's going to leer us. That's not going to really matter. But anyways, I wanted to get into the questions of the day. I missed it last episode just because I knew that we would have a ton of time to cover in this episode. So I might as well talk about it now. So anyways, 2 episodes ago, I asked everyone what their favorite rock-type Pokemon is. Again, got a lot of comments and stuff, which is fantastic as Charizard grows to level 38 when we take out this trainer. But I have 2 Pokemon in general that are my favorite rock-type Pokemon. And the one being Sudowoodo, and it originated, I found out about that Pokemon in Gold like everyone else, or Gold or Silver, whichever you played, but I used that Pokemon a lot. I was always really fascinated with it. I loved its moveset and stuff, and it was overall just a great Pokemon to have. And I was really confused though, because I always thought it was Grass type, and then I would always get hit with like a Surf or something, and it would do a ton of damage to me. I was always insanely confused on that, and then I figured out that it was actually a rock type, and everything made sense again. But you can see there, Growlithe, or not the Growlithe anymore, Arcanine grew to level 16 there, which is good, and hopefully we can get to level 25 this episode. I'm hoping. I don't think that will be a possibility, but we'll see, we'll see. And Graveler, uses whatever that move was. I missed out on it. Anyways, we're going to use a Wing Attack. That's not going to do much. It's going to Mud Sport, which is kind of stupid, but hopefully we can take this thing out. And obviously Rock-type Pokemon are going to be our weak point on our team, but if we get some moves that's such as, I should have used wing attack there, I don't know what I was thinking, but we're definitely going to get some moves that are going to help out towards Pokemon that we're weak against and stuff like that, so no need to worry. And yeah, and then the next Pokemon, I didn't talk about that. Next Pokemon that I really like as far as rock type Pokemon go would have to be Regirock. In Ruby, I tried to get all the... Oh, that worked out very nicely. In Ruby, I tried to get at all the Regi, Pokemon, whatever you want to call them, all the rock type, or the Regirock, Regice, Registeel. I tried to get all of those in Ruby, and I succeeded, of course. And I don't know. I liked Regirock. It was definitely a great Pokemon. I used Regice a lot in Ruby, but all three of those Pokemon I just found fascinating. And I really think they did a great job. Like the legendary birds, the legendary dogs, and then the Regis. I still don't really know the proper term to call them, but you guys know what I mean, hopefully. And then I think they kind of went sour after that, as far as like the Pokemon series go. And we missed 2 things in a row. Oh my gosh, we have to go back into our Charizard. I for some reason can't get oh, he's gonna do that again. Alright, can we please get a Rock Slide off? This is turning into this is gonna be really painful here. Okay, finally get a Rock Slide. It's gonna kill it in 1 hit very nicely. Thank you, Charizard. But yeah, so after the Reggie series, after the Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald, I think they kind of went a wrong direction with like the 3 legendary, series thing that they did. So that's just my opinion, but I think in Diamond and Pearl, whatever, Black and White, I never really liked the trio of Pokemon that they used. Okay, so enough about that little rant, or whatever you want to call it. We're going to go back into Charizard, of course. It's going to use a Magnitude, which doesn't affect our Charizard, because our Charizard is a beast. And Wing Attack doesn't do that much. But we're going to do another Wing Attack, and that's going to take it out. Cool stuff, cool stuff. Alright, next is Onix. I'm not going to switch, because Onix is a beast. We can take it out with a Flamethrower, I'm pretty sure, because we're such a high level. Very nice, very nice. Alright, well, let's get into the next question of the day as I go to the Pokemon Center. And the next question of the day, let me think. Why am I blanking out what it is? Oh yes, of course. So we caught an Eevee in the last episode. Or we didn't catch an Eevee, but we got an Eevee. And so I was wondering what everyone's favorite Eevee evolution was. And mine, personally, I mean, I like a lot of the Eevee evolutions. I love what they did with Eevee. I thought it was a fantastic idea of everything. Having like just this one Pokemon and then using like stones to evolve it. But I always liked Jolteon the best, just personally. I always, of course, liked the first generation Pokemon the most. And then Jolteon out of the 3, I think, is my favorite. I like Umbreon too, but I don't think it has that great of a moveset. Jolteon's really fast, and I like electric type Pokemon, so that's probably going to be mine. So this is funny right here. We have a Growlithe level 24 against our Arcanine, which is level, I think, 16 or something. So it's not we're not gonna really be able to take it out, but with our Arcanine, so we have to change into our Charizard. All right, so we do have a Vulpix here, so I think. Let's go into Arcanine again, and let's try to take this out with our Flareon here. Let's try to use a dig on Vulpix, but yeah. So this episode is just going to be a ton of just simply grinding to try to level up our Pokemon. I was going to do it off screen, but I think the best way to level up our Pokemon is probably to go through these trainers as Arcanine grows to level 17. It will take a ton of time to just level them up just through going in this grass right here, going back in the game or, whatnot. I think I already battled this guy, yeah, okay. So there's a pretty big chain of Pokemon right here, or trainers, I'm sorry, but we're going to take all these trainers out. And I always love in Pokemon how they just have so many trainers to battle. That was always my most fun thing, as I explained earlier in a previous episode, and why I battle the trainers, because I love to battle the trainers and just go from trainer to trainer, see what they have, and just have fun battling them, because I think that's one of the greatest things in the game. Alright, next up is this trainer, and she has a Nidoran. I'm waiting for them to have some kind of bug-type Pokemon so I can take it out with my Arcanine. Let's see how Arcanine does here. I believe in Arcanine. We can take this Pokemon out. Let's see what a bite does. Did a good amount of damage. We're going to take it out with an Ember. Alright, good job, Arcanine. You didn't get hurt too much. You took that Nidoran out pretty easily. I'm going to stay in here, and then I'm going to switch into my Charizard. See what my Charizard can do. Poison Sting. Why you be poisoning my Pokemon, bro? It's not cool. Alright, Flamethrower should take it out. There we go. Crit hit. Don't think that mattered. And we defeat that Pokemon trainer. Why? I'll tell you why. I want your money. Alright. And why was this like professor in between all these girls? Kind of freaky. Got a child molester here. Don't be sneaking off with your professor. Alright. Never mind. I don't know where I was going with that. Alright, so Ember. Our attack fell, but we are using special attack, so that's good. Yeah, continue to use Growl. Oh, it's burned. It's going to take it out with a burn? Yeah, nice job, Arcanine. Good job. Because we do grow to level 18, and Arcanine is doing work despite its low level. We're going to stay in here against this Meowth, because it took out the other Meowth pretty nicely. Going to use another Growl. Just keep on using Growl, Meowth. It's not gonna help you in the slightest. I think we're going to be able to take this out with another Ember. We do live that bite, and Arcanine doing work. A low-leveled Arcanine, and that just goes to show how much I have planned for this Arcanine on our team. It's a low level compared to these other Pokemon, but it's doing such a nice job taking out these other Pokemon, even though they aren't like the greatest Pokemon. I mean, I know Meowth isn't that great of a Pokemon, but nonetheless, I mean, it's still 6 levels or whatever higher than us, so definitely doing work. Good job, Arcanine. And as I said, Flareon isn't going to be that great for us, but nonetheless, another Pokemon to have, and I'm going to teach it a Ghost-type move, so that's going to be our primary Pokemon to take out some of these Bug-type Pokemon, or not Bug-type Pokemon, Ghost-type Pokemon, Dark-type Pokemon, stuff like that, because it has Bite, and so yeah. We're going to use a Rock Slide on this Pidgey. Probably didn't have to waste a Rock Slide, but we do. And Pikachu's next. I'm going to just stay in here. And I'm going to go to my bag, actually, and use a Fresh Water on Arcanine. Probably should have done this before I battled, but whatever. Alright, Pikachu's going to use Double Team. Hopefully we can get a Rock Slide off to take this thing out. We do, so that's good. Alright, Pikachu's down. Next up is Rattata. Let's switch into our Arcanine again. Get some more XP. And Rattata. So now we're pretty much even levels, so this is really going to show how good our Arcanine is. Wow, that Ember did a ton. And we're just taking this Pokemon out like crazy. Alright, next up, Nidorano or whatever. Nidoran. Nidorano. Speaking another language. Oh, nice crit hit. There we go. Almost level 19. Next up is Meowth. And for some reason, this trainer doesn't have that high level Pokemon. I guess it traded more Pokemon for less of a level, if that makes sense. We're going to take this thing out with a Bite. Get a nice Bite in there. And Arcanine grows to level 19, which is very nice. As we take out this another trainer. Cool stuff. So we took out the entire chain of 4 pretty easily. I believe I already battled that guy, that biker on accident. Is there anything up here? How do we get up there? I think we have to go the other way. Alright. Battle this biker dude. Hello, biker dude. How's it going? A biker dude. What's his name? Biker Ricardo. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, Arcanine, you can do this. And we're going to use an Ember. And that's going to get a crit hit. It's going to use Poison Gas. Hopefully we're not poisoned, and we are poisoned. That's really unfortunate. I hate being poisoned. We're going to use a Bite. And Coughing is going to go down. Next up is another Coughing. We're going to stay in here. I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to take this Coughing out as long as we don't die from getting burned. I think we should be, or from getting poisoned. We should be okay. Another Ember. Doesn't take it out, unfortunately. Smog. Oh god. Alright, hopefully this Ember kills it. And it does. We only have 7 HP left. I'm going to go into Flareon here to get some more XP for Flareon. Grimer. We're going to use a Dig. on this Grimer. And there we go, super effective. Nice job, Flareon. So yeah, Flareon isn't completely useless, as you can see. Does do some good damage, and hopefully I have some kind of something to take poison away. I probably should have got that. Is there any berry that I can use? Oh, there we go. Cool. So we can use this berry on our Arcanine to get rid of the poison. Cool stuff. There we go. So berries do come in handy. Let's use a fresh water on our Arcanine. And it's going to be pretty much full health, so that's fantastic. And take on some more trainers. Let's take on this guy over here. Hello, sir. How's it going? Voltorb, interesting. Alright, hopefully it doesn't explode on us. That would be just terrible. Let's use a bite, see what that does. Doesn't do that much. And our defense, I think that was harshly failed. It's going to use charge. And it began to absorb power, so okay, so it didn't really get to attack us, which is really nice. As we grow to level 20, cool stuff. And Arcanine's not going to learn any moves because until level 49, because I did choose to evolve it now. If I had waited, it wouldn't have learned that great of moves, and I was already planning on using a lot of TMs to teach it anyways, so it really didn't matter. I figured the stat boost would be better than just keeping it as a Growlithe. Next up is Magmite. Let's go into, let's stay in actually. I'm pretty sure we can take this thing out of the dig, even though it's levitating above the ground. We'll see here in a second. Yeah, okay, cool stuff. We did use dig, and Flareon is doing some work as well. Cool stuff. Our team's coming along quite nicely, I must say. We still have a few more Pokemon to get, and everyone will find out those Pokemon later in this series. But just stay tuned for that. Smog is luckily not going to poison us, and we do take it out with an Ember. Great job, Arcanine. And I'm basically going to stop this episode when I'm done with all the trainers. So this might be a longer episode than normal, but I did want to get through all the trainers as best as I could, and not like, I don't know. I didn't want to like do it in a later episode. I didn't really want to do it off screen. You might as well do a longer episode. You know, there's always room for that every once in a while. So yeah. All right, let's try to take this thing out with a Mega Punch. Hopefully Charizard can wake up. Jeez, Bubble is super effective, but since we're such a high level, it's not going to do much. Come on, Charizard, wake up. It's at least been 4 turns now. Are you serious? Mega Punch. Die, Poliwag. Alright, cool stuff. Next up is another Poliwag. Let's go into Flareon. I choose you, Flareon. And this is actually kind of funny. This is the first playthrough of a game where I've had any of these 3 Pokemon. So I've never had Flareon in a game, I've never had Arcanine in a game, and I've never had Charizard in a game before. So I just thought that was a little funny. Wow, he lives with like 1 HP, but luckily we can use a quick attack to kill it off. Very nice, Flareon. Next up is Poliwhirl. Ooh, stepping up your game, aren't you? Let's stay in here, see if our Flareon can take it out with a dig. Dig. Use a bubble, it's gonna miss. And it's gonna use a double slap. I don't know why it didn't use a water type move. And let's use another dig, because we are faster. I don't think that a quick attack would have killed it. And just like that, we do defeat that Poliwhirl, and we go to level 27. We're growing a ton of levels this episode, which is a very, very nicely. Of course, that was the entire point of this episode, but nonetheless, definitely growing some levels. Why is this bump here? That makes absolutely no sense to me. Alright, so now that we're done with that, we can go into the next area here. And this is the new town that I was talking about, Saffron City. There's some pretty cool stuff in this city. I'm not going to go into it now, really. But yeah, there's going to be an episode where we're going to have to go in here and, you know, spoil Team Rocket's plans and stuff. But that's not going to be this episode. So there's a few more things that I want to do before, or we're going to go to the Pokemon Center before we do that, though. And yeah, I don't think there's too many more trainers that we have to battle. I think there might be a few more this way, but I'm not entirely sure. I think we might have skipped a few. Is there any trainers up here? No. Any trainers down here? No, I don't think so. Yeah, so I think that's actually most of the trainers that we have to battle. There's one more important one, and for that guy we have to backtrack, as long as we don't go to the wrong area. And we just go along this way. There is a gym here, and this is actually really cool. I'm gonna get into this next episode. There's this little like fighting dojo thing. I think that's a really cool thing in the game. So I'm gonna do that next episode, not this episode. And we're going to go over to this like haunted building thing and battle one last trainer. And there's something special about this trainer. You might know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you'll see in a second. So I did heal up my Pokemon. I do want to give my Pokemon some berries so that it can heal up. Let's go to our, nope, not that. Berry case, berry pouch, whatever you want to call it. And where is it? Do we have anything to heal our Pokemon up at all? It's not looking like it. Alright, whatever. Berries are useless in this fight, but it's okay. So we're going to the Pokemon Tower, and this tower can be kind of useful later in the game, but as of now it's not really that special. But what is cool about it is if you go up this way, who's that? Yes, it is Gary. And Gary has trained up his Pokemon quite nicely, and it actually has some pretty cool additions to his team. And it's going to be pretty hard for us to battle Gary, but we're going to try our best. We're going to immediately switch into our Charizard, and Arcanine is going to get a ton of XP from this, hopefully. And we're going to use a Rock Slide, and Rock Slide is going to probably take it out. Yep, there we go. So Arcanine is going to get a good amount of XP, so is Charizard. Next up is War Turtle. I'm going to stay in here because Charizard is really going to be the only thing that can take out this War Turtle, so I want to be careful there. We're going to go ahead and use another Rock Slide. I think that's probably going to be the most damage on War Turtle out of any of my moves at the moment. And War Turtle is going to use a Water Gun that's going to do a good amount of damage, but nonetheless it's no match for us. Let's finish it off with a Mega Punch, and hopefully that kills it. I'm assuming it will, and there we go. Yes, it does. Cool stuff, Charizard. Charizard gaining a lot of XP there. Next up is a Growlithe, and I'm going to go into my Arcanine and see how it fares against his Growlithe. We are low level compared to it, but I feel as if we can take it out if we try our best. And alright, so they both do their intimidation thing. One of the nice things about Arcanine and Growlithe. I'm going to use a Bite, and that's going to do a good amount of damage. You know, nothing too major, but a good amount of damage. We're going to use another Bite on it, and we should be able to kill it after this Bite, I'm hoping. Alright, we're going to use another Bite, and yes, nice job, Arcanine. And Arcanine is going to go to level 21 here with that 448 XP, so cool stuff. Arcanine growing a ton of levels in this episode. Next up is Executute. Let's stay in here and burn this thing to the ground. Executute, finally a bug type Pokemon or grass type of some kind that we could finally use an Ember against. And it's going to use Hypnosis. Luckily it misses, that's really good. If that would have hit, that would have been a little unfortunate. But we do take it out with another Ember, so that's really good. And Arcanine grows some more XP. Next up is Kadabra. Let's go into Flareon here. See how Flareon can fare against a Kadabra. What is it? Yeah, Kadabra. Kadabra only level 20. I was expecting to be higher level than that, but nonetheless, it is going to be a really good Pokemon later in the game when we battle Gary, because it's going to be a Alakazam, I believe. I actually don't know if it evolves fully, but I believe it does. So Flareon taken out with one dig. So there we go. Our team shows its great powers against Gary. So yeah, things are coming along quite nicely for sure. So yeah. Anyways, we take out Gary, and that's going to be it for this episode, everyone. So I'm going to go heal my Pokemon up, and off screen, of course, but I'd like to thank everyone for watching. I am Tech1421. Take it easy, everyone. Peace. It's Vaporeon.